What is up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another live stream. Episode number 94. That's 94 consecutive weeks without missing one single beat. Consecutive live streams on this channel. And I want to thank you, as always, for taking the time and spending it here with me. If it is your first time here, my name's Lewis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you to upgrade your skills before your gear. And with that being said, please introduce yourself into the chat so that you can get the nice Camera Junkie welcome. And now let's see who is here in the chat and say what's up to the Camera Junkie crew. Right off the bat, we have Mr. Moderator Paul Duncan saying hello to the fam. We also have Randy here saying hi to Paul, myself, and everyone else who's watching. How you doing, Randy? John is in the house saying hello as well to everyone in the crew. All right. Yes. And Scott Rogers is here saying hello. What's up, Scott? How are you? All right. We got Michael in the house saying hello as well. Says great green screen. Yeah, as you can see, we are live from Albany in my hotel. This is in the regular studio, and it's a completely different setup. You know, I'm gonna get into it for starters because can I be real with you guys? You know, like I am so surprised that I was able to make tonight's stream and like get it going, but something did happen, which was I became extremely exhausted this week. Like there was so much going on, from packing to driving to setting up and also recording my experiences throughout the entire week to try to put things together. And also I had teased last week that I was going to be working on a video edit for this week about my little Pelican case setup that I'm using right now, but I did not have enough time to actually sit in front of the computer to pretty much edit anything this week because it has been so jam-packed. One thing that was great was my trip to Albany, because I am here and I'm here a day in advance, because last year I lost an entire day in Pennsylvania, but I did not want that to happen again because I missed out on certain speakers, certain people that were only there for the first day of the event, and I missed out. So because of FOMO, I made sure that I had ample time. And one of the best things that actually happened was, knock on wood, the entire trip from Miami to Albany, I only had roughly, within the 3 days of driving, roughly 30 minutes of traffic, which is mind-boggling. Like the fact that I only spent 30 minutes in traffic, and it was in 3 separate occasions, and one was like 5 minutes, the other one was 10, and the other one was like 15 minutes by itself, something like that. And in total, like that's all of the waiting that I had to do on the road. It was pretty much smooth sailings. I don't know if it was the big difference that they changed the conference, because last year it was in October and this year it's in September, as you can see. And I don't know if it's because of the climate change or anything like that. Also, it's very like nice and cool. It's not cold as winter, but it's nice and fresh. It's almost like a really light breeze, like awesome environment. The sun isn't beating down on you even though it's out. It is just really great weather. There was a lot of rain while I was driving in Florida, but as soon as I got out of Florida, smooth sailings from there. So that's all I can say about that. But I'm glad that you like my green screen, Paul. All right. Okay, so Michael's flying to Albany tomorrow night. Awesome. I can't wait. The festivities start on Monday, right? Like that's where, not the festivities, but like all the speakers, everything like that. Sunday night, they're doing a VIP like get together for certain people that are able to, or who purchase those tickets that are able to make it there that day. It's kind of just like just a get together, a get to meet a who's who of the speakers and just be real and just be human for a minute before we start getting into all of this amazing content, because last year I learned so much that has allowed me to get to where I am today, and I can't wait to learn even more this year, which is why I highly recommend this conference. This conference is sort of like Vid Summit, bit smaller, but on the East Coast. So let me explain to you real quick the differences between the conferences. There's one that's called VidCon. That's video convention, and that is held with a lot of YouTubers, a lot of influencers. But the thing is that one is like open to the fans, open to the public, and it gets huge and wild, out of control. For example, I think Jake Paul had a scavenger hunt in a mall on one of these VidCon conventions, and his fan base just went crazy looking for items in a scavenger hunt throughout a mall that created chaos. That's not what you're going to find at this type of event. This is more like Vid Summit. Now, Vid Summit is held by Daryl Leaves. Also, that will be next week, I believe, over on the West Coast. And what it is that it's a conference for creators by creators. And it allows you to really network and get that one-on-one conversation instead of just all being type of like speakers that are lined up. Even though there are, guest speakers for these events, it is more of a one-on-one getting to know and getting to learn like the ins and outs, in a personal basis. Plus you get to build a lot of friendships and relationships and people that you wouldn't have ever thought are as cool as they are really that cool. And that's why I highly recommend these types of conferences, including People of Video. Not only if you're able to make it, you'll be meeting me, you'll be meeting a lot of the LGL fam, a lot of people here that are all looking to try to get you to do your best. And that's what I find that is so amazing, is like everyone is aspiring to do their best and is willing to help you achieve your best, which is once again why I think these things are so invaluable. And with the trip that I made last year, it made such a huge change in my life on the way that I perceive things and the connections that I was able to make in person. That, like I said, is the reason why I'm here this year, because it was tough, but I'm so excited to get to meet so many people that kind of got FOMO last year, right? That fear of missing out. And once they realized that they did miss out on so much fun, including just like the night that Doc went axe throwing with everybody, right? Like Ecamm is actually holding an axe throwing event on Wednesday night, I believe, or Thursday night this week, sort of to just kind of like a final send off. So that's also going to be fun. But there's all of those things, and more importantly, just the time between the speakers, right? The time where you're having lunch and you're just getting to just break bread and get to know so many amazing individuals. It's second to none. So that's why I really recommend this. And I'm so excited for this being my second event that I'm going to, because last year, with the circumstances of me just trying to make to the event, like I mentioned before, I missed the first day, so I had a bit of FOMO as well of the people that I didn't get to meet. And then on top of that, like I was more like present, so to speak. I was just trying to soak it all in, and with personal things that I was dealing with in my personal life, it was really hard for me to document everything and really like able to share all the experiences that I gained at People of Video last year. That's where I've done a total 180 this year, and I've been doing everything on my iPhone, just so that I don't have to worry about pulling out a camera and doing all these things. I'm trying to take a level of take a step back, right, and use the most common camera that I have with me, which is my iPhone. Something that happened today which has me a little upset. Well, let me be real. It has me a lot upset, because right now, as part of my setup, you are watching me through my iPhone. Right now, I have my iPhone 11 Pro, and this is the image that you're getting from an iPhone for a live stream. So this is connected to my Mac Mini, and that's what's broadcasting the signal tonight. The reason why I'm upset is because I dedicated the phone that I'm using right now to be my recording device for this event. And I've been using it for the last 3 days and then some, recording, taking pictures, doing everything and documenting what I've been doing. And today when I stopped at a gas station to refuel, I went to attend to Aiden and I went to put this phone in my pocket and I missed my pocket. And I missed my pocket and I dropped my phone and it felt real hard on the corner, and I'm glad that I had its protective case on it, right? So when I picked it up, it wasn't cracked, it wasn't scratched, but I saw the scratch on the case on the corner of where it took the impact. So I looked at it and just kind of like superficially looked at the phone. I'm like, nothing broke, all good. Turns on, it's still on, okay, and I threw it in my pocket. This is the problem. Apparently it jacked up my cameras. Yeah. So now when I'm actually going to try to actually take photos with it after I dropped it, the exposures are off, and when I'm trying to switch from 1x to 2x, it's totally freezing completely, and now I'm missing shots and I'm not recording the things that I wanted to record, and that just happened from like late afternoon till right now. And I'm gonna be straight up, I'm pissed. I'm so upset because I dedicated this 256 gig iPhone 11 Pro to just be like my go-to device for everything, and I wanted to just document everything on the phone to make it easier for me to be able to edit it and distribute it. And then I go and drop the phone and jack the camera, which is the most important part of why I wanted to carry this phone. It wasn't because of the touchscreen. Like, I would have, just me being real, I would have been happier cracking my screen and letting the camera be good, because I could eventually fix the screen and continue recording. But now I'm having trouble recording, having trouble taking photos, having trouble doing everything with the phone, and the screen is impeccable, but I'm like, it serves me nothing because it's not doing the one key thing that I wanted it to do. So that's that. Thank you for listening to me vent, but that's part of everything that's been going on this week, and so many things that are happening over here in Albany. All right, we have Mr. Sarkeesian saying what's up to Paul, I see. How are you doing? Michael is coming from Orlando. Weather sounds great. Yes, it does sound great. I didn't know you were in Orlando. I'm from Miami, so, we're not that far off. I'll tell you the truth. What was it? When I left Thursday? Yeah, when I left Thursday, I stopped at Orlando and had lunch with my friend there, Chris, which I also took some photos and some videos, and we stopped at this really cool Asian restaurant. It's called 24 Hour. It is so dope. It is a 24-hour, Asian restaurant. I think they're Filipino, but the thing is that they spelled it PHO, like pho, as far as the food that they provide. So it's a play on words, but it's also part of their routine. So they are a 24-hour restaurant over there in Orlando, and they're called 20. Am I live? Let me know if I'm live, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are still there. I don't even know if this is broadcasting correctly. I have no idea. I am looking for the next comment to pop up to see if you guys are here. That was horrendous. Just to let you know, hotel Wi-Fi just kicked me out. Just kicked me out. I think they weren't happy with me streaming, maybe, but literally they just kicked me out, and I was trying to figure out why. Lost connection. I had to reconnect to the web page, and then do the whole authentication and do everything, but it's cutting in and out. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Thank you. I don't even know what was the last thing you heard, right, of where I was at with my yep, live happens. You said it, bro. But the crazy thing is, I could continue. I just don't know what was the last thing that you guys heard. So where was the story? If you can let me know before it went hectic, because that is just ridiculous. Like I'd been connect. As you can see, it's giving a great connection. But the whole thing is that it just said like you can't connect to Ecamm Live, and I was just trying to. It said put another quarter in. That's exactly what I did. I just like, debit, cha-ching. No. But 24. Okay, perfect. So that's where I was at. 24 hours. 24 hours. And yeah, it's an amazing restaurant. I highly recommend it. What I was saying was that I was gonna leave a review and to check Mimi. She's like the head hostess there. If you do decide to check that place out, it was amazing food and even better company. So, but it's cool to find out that Michael is in Orlando because you're not that far off. Maybe I can, I can go swing by on a weekend and we can meet up, but that will be after I get to meet you over here at People the Video. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to meet you. And I want to thank all of you who actually just hung out and helped me, get back live. That's nuts. I'm gonna wait and see how that's gonna look. But another thing, like, take a look. This is my bag right here, right? You see it right there? And that was given to me by the awesome people at Ecamm. As you can see, it's got their logo plastered on it. It's the program that I use for all of my live streams. And how amazing is it that I was completely like, I don't know. To me, it felt like 5 minutes because I was literally trying to fix this internet issue, and after 5 minutes to be able to resume the broadcast that I was already on instead of having to just restart another one, because that's actually what I tried to do. I tried to click back in, it didn't let me, and then I tried to get start a whole new live stream, and it was telling me that I was not connected yet. It just sucked because I was connected to the Wi-Fi. So I'm looking at the computer and I'm seeing the bars and I'm seeing the signal and I'm seeing that I'm connected to the correct router, yet just no internet. So I had to just like connect to a different router and then reconnect to the good router and then redo all the initialization to actually allow me to connect. And once that happened, boom, we're good to go. And I was luckily able to resume the stream. What it's gonna look like, we'll find out, but we're gonna definitely have that gap there. So I was on a roll. I was talking about 24 hours. So yeah, once I left Orlando, right? Because that was really cool. I pretty much spent most of my first day driving in Florida. This is the thing. The way that I saw it, right? Because of the road trip that I did last year, was I saw 1,500 miles, the distance between Miami and Albany. And I was like, I need to make a certain amount of miles per day. And by the time that I actually like hit the road, it was 1,400 miles that I needed to accumulate. And I broke that down into 4 days. So I said 1,400, we're looking about 350 to 360 miles per day. No matter how long it takes me, I need to accumulate those miles, under my belt, so to speak, to keep on pace. And what I did was the first day I drove to Orlando, spent like 4 hours having that meal and hanging out with my friend over there at 24 hours. And after that, I hit the road, take care of Aiden. And I hit the road, I could say like around 8 o'clock in the evening. Once I hit the road, I was like, I'm going to drive until I get tired, which was basically like 2 to 3 hours. Once I hit that mark, I stopped to refuel, to take care of Aiden, so on and so forth. And at that same moment, I then rented my hotel and I looked a little bit further north to see what was the closest hotel to me that was along the way. And I ended up staying at I think it was a Red Roof Inn. And it was a really nice room for, being a Red Roof Inn. It was rated at like a 2-star hotel, but I had no complaints. The air conditioning was amazing and the beds were really great. I get 2 because I have to take care of Aiden as well. So Aiden and I slept very well. And then we got up in the morning. We ended up in Savannah, Georgia, right? And when we wake up, we check out. I asked the maitre d' there, right? I was like, hey, what is a good restaurant around here that's like local to the city, great for breakfast? And they sent me to this place called the Omelet something. I was gonna say the omelet shop, but it's not the name, right? But it's like the omelet something, and I got some photos of it. Amazing food as well, right? I guess vacations and road trips all really have to do with food. So if you get a good food experience, you're pretty much over 50% on enjoying the vacation or the time that's spent. But the food was amazing, but it was so fast. They had an amazing system. Like there was the people who were preparing, like the plate, while the other like cooks were actually cooking the meal. So it wasn't like, that they had to create an entire plate coming from the chef or from the cook. So it was like the plating and everything, the dressing up was being done ahead of time or at the same time while they were cooking the meal. I can tell you that I had my food in front of me in less than 5 minutes. It was mind-boggling. It was like lightning. It was like order, take a look at Aiden, food. It was pretty much just like that. And amazing, right? Georgia's Southern hospitality, gotta give them big ups for that. And then I hit the road again, fueled up, hit the road, drove on my second day, and I drove a good 9 hours. 9 hours. I did 3-hour little stints, and I was able to knock out like the majority of the distance on day 2. So yesterday, I took out the majority of it to the point where from Savannah, I ended up in like Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So that's where I started my morning today. And from Pennsylvania, I drove all the way to Albany, and that took me 2 3-hour stints. So it was just like a 6-hour drive, and mostly had to do with not traffic, construction. Like there was certain areas of Interstate 81 or Interstate 88 that they were just like totally closing down, making one lane for like S&Gs, you know what I'm saying? Like for no reason, just condensing traffic to one lane and slowing it down. And then that's where you see my frustration kick in. And I will tell you the truth, when it comes to like driving, like it's 60 speed limit, right? We're dealing with one lane because they're condensing the traffic, right, into one lane. And then you have a dude on a motorcycle going like 40, creating a long line of just like bumper to bumper traffic where we could be going up to 60, but no, 40 miles an hour. That is frustrating as. But I digress. That was just one of the minor things. I enjoyed the vistas, right? The views. One thing that I can tell you guys, and this is just completely off topic, but overpopulation and not enough space is absolute BS. Because just driving from Florida to New York, all I can tell you is that sure there are cities, sure there's condensed population, but there is more than enough space for everything. And that was just like, I didn't even go to like the breadbasket of the United States. I'm just talking about traveling through Pennsylvania and New York. There is so much real estate, so much untapped potential when it comes to land, that whole hype of overpopulation, that we don't have space, is absolute crap. But I digress. Paul saying omelet house or omelet cafe. I'm using the camera right now, so I can't really like take a look at it, but it was the omelet something. But it was great. I had a meat lover's omelet, bacon, ham, and sausage. Phenomenal. And then today as well, when I was in Philadelphia, I stopped at another diner / breakfast joint. It was called Chesterville. I think that's where I actually got the hotel. From Gettysburg, I had to travel to I think that's what it was called. I'm just not doing the best with the names right now because I'm a little tired. But Chesterville Family Diner. And I ended up getting another omelet, and I got a Philly cheesesteak omelet because I was like, when in Rome, right? I'm not going to stop for a cheesesteak right now. Maybe on the way back down, but I'm in Philadelphia. Let me get that cheesesteak omelet. And it was really good. One complaint, they didn't have no Cholula, only Tabasco hot sauce, which is like, come on, guys. Give me a little variation. But besides that, experience was great. And, excuse me. And once again, the people were super nice. But I also think that has to do with, if you're nice to people, you usually tend to get, good response. So because I was courteous, I got really good service, and once again enjoyed my stay there and my meal, and then started hitting the road. 3 hours, stop, take a break, make sure Aiden is fed again, make sure that his diapers are taken care of, and make sure that he's top notch. He's got his cartoons and his toys, because I don't want him freaking out. He's having like a full vacation in the back seat. And then I'm like, good to go. All right, hop in, put fuel, and just hit the road again. And I was able to make it in roughly like 6 hours from Pennsylvania all the way to Albany now. And now I'm in Albany, and tomorrow I will be checking into the hotel where the event is actually located. So tomorrow I already got an email, so I think I'm going to be doing an early check-in, and I am going to cross my fingers and hope that it's a first floor room that I got available for me. And if not, I'm going to try to do my best to get on the first floor, and that simply has to do with my little man Aiden, because I already got complaints here at this hotel once I was getting ready to go live, because Aiden bouncing around is kicking up a storm and making noise that the people downstairs can hear. I understand, and I spoke to the maitre d' and I told them, hey, I can remedy this if we can move me to a first floor room. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but it has to do with my son, and there's really nothing that I can do to stop him or prevent him from doing it, because whether he's on the floor or he's on the bed, he's gonna make noise, and I was like, the only time he doesn't make noise is when he's sleeping. So I said, so until he falls asleep, there will be noise, and if you can move me, I would appreciate it. And there was no rooms available, so I'm stuck here, and I'm apologizing to the people below me. Really nothing I can do, sorry, but we'll live on. It's just one night, and they'll get over it. So that's that. I just hope that for the week stay that I'm gonna be over there at the Desmond Hotel, I really hope that I can get a first floor room, just to kind of avoid any complaints that they might have. Or the last thing that I would want is to have a hotel have to comp a room because of another guest, and that guest being Aiden, just because he's gonna make noise. And for me as a father, it's almost like white noise. I don't even hear it at times, but I am aware of it. So hopefully everything works out. But if not, hey, tough noogies, because Aiden is Prince Aiden, and he's gonna be wherever I be, and that's how it works. So tough noogies, but I do try to be conscious of the sounds and the vibrations that my son makes. But I love him nonetheless, and that's that. It looks like he might be falling asleep now, so that's good news for the neighbors or the people downstairs. But I digress. Let me go check back in onto the comments, see what you guys are talking about here. So it's a great bag. Yeah, that is a great bag. I can't even tell you how much stuff I fit in there. Dude, I fit a lot of stuff in there. That bag, probably like 40 to 50 pounds. No lie. I put it in my back, and it's like, I felt like, like those freshman kids in high school where they got too many books, and then they're literally like leaning just to keep the weight balanced of all the books that they have in their book bag. Kind of what I felt like with that one. So, hey, what's up, D? Says, you got to journey this. Sounds interesting. Absolutely. That's what I've been doing. But I don't know if you heard what I was saying. I dropped my iPhone and the camera's tripping. One good thing is, just because I'm a nerd, right? I'm a geek. So I brought my iFixit kit with me from Miami. I just couldn't leave it. I was like, you never know, right? It's got all these different tools. It's a little box like this. let me just throw it in there. So what I'm hoping is that I'm gonna grab that tool or that toolkit and open up my iPhone screen, see if there's something when it comes to the cameras. Hopefully maybe it's just a connection that came loose, something like that, that I can just like clip in and get the camera to be working again, and so I don't have any problems. Close her up and keep on going. That's like my hope. That is my dream right now. So, but I'm also glad that I brought my iFixit kit with me so that I'm able to actually do something like that. Because worst case scenario was like, hey, if my screen breaks, I can order a screen from Amazon and then replace it, right? That's kind of what I was thinking as well. That's why I said I would have preferred my screen to break than my camera, because the screen is less expensive than these really expensive cameras. And it was the main point of me bringing the phone or using the phone to journal and to document everything that I'm doing. And now my camera is having issues. So like, wow, I know I missed like at least 5 shots while I was driving. That I like prior to me dropping the phone today, I was literally like just picking up the phone, pressing the camera, and then snapping away. Snap, 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 snap. All from my car, seeing different views, different vistas. The Pro model that has that 0.5 extra wide, man, that really captures a lot of the landscapes as I was driving by. And then come today, after I drop it, I go to take a picture of like the landscape, and it was like my camera would not do the white balancing, so to speak. It was just completely blown out and the exposure was off. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, okay, maybe I held down the exposure accidentally and held it down, so it could have been my fault. I turn off the camera and then turn it back on and it would work okay. But the thing is, if what it's doing right now is that if I have it in a dark spot, right, and it gets that exposure for the dark area, as soon as I bring it up to light, blown out, completely overexposed. And that's something that the iPhone, with all these multiple millions of calculations per second, is usually really good on. And now, let me not talk about it anymore, because it's only just going to get me upset. I'm hoping that I don't have to replace the expensive camera. And hopefully, after me opening up the iFixit kit, I can have that done by tomorrow, so that I don't have to worry about missing any other videos or photos using this camera. If not, I'm gonna have to try to figure something else out and maybe swap the cameras that I'm using. But the thing is, like I said, this has 200 gigs. Like I already accumulated, just so you know, I already accumulated 70 gigabytes of video and photos on this phone within the last 3 days. So I was like, I'm gonna dump the information, put it on my computer, and then just like once again just start recording, documenting, doing everything. No go. So now I'm really scratching my head. I'll figure it out. I don't know. Hey, you never know. Maybe I get a new phone. Maybe I could do a trading program or something within this same week. But that's really what I didn't have anything like that planned. But it just sucks, because the one thing that I got the phone for, the cameras, is what I broke. But all right. Omelet House, Omelet Cafe, says Paul. I can't remember right now. Says, hey fam, gotta catch the rest on the replay, heading out to New York in the AM. All right, Richard. Hey, have a safe trip, man. Hey, Paul said the same thing. Have a good trip, Mr. Sarkeesian. And he said, thank you to Paul. Catch you all on the other side. I can't wait to meet Paul. Tom Bizzle, BZ. How are you doing, sir? You know what? Talking about this, it sucks that you're not here. Like, I didn't want to mention it. I didn't want to do anything, but I have to mention it. Tom, it sucks. I was really hoping that I was going to get to meet you in person this year, right now, September in Albany. It sucks that I can't meet you and Heather in person, but then that just leaves, maybe a trip to California up in the air, up for, as a potential thing that could happen. You never know. So one way or another is going to happen. It's just not happening now, which is like where I'm a little bit saddened. It's been such a long time. Dude, I just can't wait to meet you. So But I digress. All right. Well, with that being said, people of video, man, there is an amazing lineup that is here for, like, to speak. On top of Doc Rock, Diana Gladney, you're gonna have Owen Video. There's so many. There's the lawyer lady. I'm running a blank on her name because right now names are just like, that's a file that's not found in my brain. That's like an error 404 right now because it's like, but you see, and it just clicked. Emily Baker, Emily D. Baker. She's the Purple Heart, not Purple Heart Medal. She's like her favorite, most used emoji is the Purple Heart, and she's got like the Purple Heart gang. So whenever you see Purple Hearts in your live streams and just get blasted all over, just know that that's part of the Emily D. Baker crew. She's an amazing creator. She did a lot for the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial because her channel is completely based on her expertise, because she was a professional lawyer, and now that she's retired from that field, she is taking her expertise and breaking down like the most popular court cases today, or even some in the past, and then breaking down what happened and why it happened because of like the lawyer information that she understands. Is really cool. And if you're a lawyer or an aspiring lawyer, something that you might want to check into. But when it comes to this event, it's not so much the content that she's creating, and that's what's really cool about this. Right here, we're learning from each other, as far as it doesn't matter the exact content that you're making. This is what I did to get to this type of level with my production, my so on and so forth. So that's where you really get to learn a lot of the ins and outs, like a lot of the back end work. Like you're gonna have conversations of like, should I hire a virtual assistant? What should I be looking for? Should I hire an editor? If I am hiring an editor, what should I be looking for? All those little like nuances that you will never get from like a live stream at like a Nick Nimmin, or unless that you're really having a one-on-one conversation with one of these, YouTube coaches or gurus. This is a great place where you can get a lot of that information. So if you're ever gonna go to one of these types of events, a tip that I will give you is take a notepad. You'd be surprised how awesome you'll be able to utilize, and instead of jotting everything down or trying to record it on your phone or so on and so forth, to just something completely analog that will allow you to either jot an idea down or just put something down to reference, so that you can look for or look into more in depth in the future. And that's where this is really gonna like get filled in. Because the one thing that you do learn from these conferences is that you will get a lot of information from the people who are speaking, but you're going to get even more from what we call the hallway conversations, like the conversations that you're having in between, which is, I think, what I was mentioning maybe when the stream cut out. But the fact that you're able to break bread and have these like intimate conversations with people during lunch, right? Like while you're taking a break, an hour or two between speakers to, kind of refresh, stretch your legs, get some food, you're going to get lunch with all the same people, with the same speakers that you're about to listen to, and you're going to get nuggets of information just sitting around, like the lunch table. And it's also a lot of fun, right? We're gonna be cracking jokes. We're just gonna be enjoying our time with each other, and which is just like the best part of this entire experience, at least for me. So let me check this out. Sly is in the house. How are you doing, Sly? Says, hi gang, just passing through, glad to see everyone. As you can see, I'm in Albany, New York right now for the conference. Is different ambiance in the background, but I did bring a couple of things to make this work. One of the things that I created, which was what I had prefaced last week, which is an entire Pelican case I won't be able to show you right now, but I will be posting some pictures and some videos about this really soon. It's working flawlessly. It is a compartment that carries all of my cables. It also powers up my, excuse me, it powers up my external monitor that's connected to my Mac Mini within the case. The Mac Mini is also here, and I also have my Zoom PodTrack P5, which allows me to use the Rode Video Micro here. Rode Video Micro, listen to me. The Rode Pod Mic as my main microphone into the Zoom. I have my older laptop just sitting here off to the side, and that is the DJ station that is playing the music that's also being imported in here to Ecamm, and Ecamm is running the entire show off of my Mac Mini. Now, I could have done it from the laptop, which is not a problem. The thing is, I needed to build this system with my Mac Mini, because the one thing that my laptop really can't do is edit the videos that I need to edit within this month of me being on the road. So I still have my responsibilities of, you know, the work that I need to get done, even though I'm on this conference, and there's still more that's going to be coming through. Like, there's people that I'm going to be working with very soon. One of them being India Delgado. I'm going to start working with her, and I can't wait to meet her here at this People of Video conference, and we're going to iron out a lot of the things that we need to get addressed before I start editing for her, and also teaching her how to edit, because she's the main client right now that is going to be doing both. That I'm going to be editing, but also helping her learn how to edit so that she can bring her own skills up, so that she can have her own style, which is something that I highly recommend for anyone. If you're looking for an editor, make sure that you edit yourself first, right? Just so that you have an understanding of what it takes to be an editor, and also that you'll have an idea of what your own style would be, of like what you would like to see in your own videos. That way you're able to hire an editor and convey that information, say this is what I like to see and this is what I don't like to see, and the editor, if it's a good one, will then eventually just learn your own style and start making videos as if it was just an extension of you, which is why I highly recommend that if you haven't, to do so. But if at another, just take it with a grain of salt. If you dislike editing and don't want to do it at all and just want to hire a good editor to do that, that's also available. But just know that that's a completely different price point, because you're just asking more as far as time from the editor instead of doing things yourself. But either way, these are things that you will learn at a conference like this. Just simple conversation or a simple tip that I gave you like that is something that somebody will give you a gem during lunch or just in the hallway. There's people that I've been following on this platform for a long time. One of them is Roberto Blake. I believe I had him on my Cities Gall before. If not, he will be coming up soon. I met him here at the People of Video last year, and ever since there's been a camaraderie, sort of like an employee friendship that has been growing, and I'm fortunate enough to be one of his moderators on his channel, which, to be completely transparent, I don't even know when he did that, right? So that's where it was just so amazing that I usually just pop up to his live streams, and then one day I go to write a message, and when I'm saying like, hi Roberto, I'm blue with a little wrench, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Especially, that's just another little cherry on top, because I will definitely always help out someone on this platform that has helped me out personally, just from all the great content that he's put out for content creators. So if you haven't checked out Roberto Blake's information, I definitely highly recommend you take a look at that. I've mentioned him before here, whether it's the City's God or not, because he was the first one where I saw the video for Ikigai. And that goes back years, even before I ever met Doc Rock. So that just goes to show you, because when I first found Roberto Blake was after I found Nick Nimmin, the Nimminati, and things like that. And that was not That was when it had nothing to do with Mr. Camera Junkie. That's when I was trying to learn how to YouTube for my Mr. Fix It business, which was where this whole thing spawned from. When you really think about it, the Mr. Fix It, I was trying to find better ways to level up my production, but at the same time I was being successful with my social media videos on TikTok. I was being successful on Instagram. I was being successful on basically every platform except YouTube. Why? Because I was creating these like 30-second like little videos that were hyperlapsed. So you would see me do a 15-minute phone repair in about 30 seconds. And while you're watching me do it, I was just like advertising on my own video. I was like, call now, and just place a phone number, in the lower thirds and different things like that. And like I said, for my Instagram, for my like TikTok, for all of those different social media platforms, it worked perfectly. But then when I put those same videos on YouTube, they bombed. Why? Because there's a thing called YouTube Premium, right? People will pay a premium to not watch advertisements. And if they don't have it, they still have the ability to wait 3 seconds to skip an ad, right? So imagine if somebody clicks on one of my videos, which I was not monetized on that channel, so an ad would pop up, right? And as it popped up, they're waiting 3 seconds to skip it. And as soon as they skip it, my video pops up that looks like another commercial. It just looks like another advertisement. It was like, you're not going to skip a commercial to watch a commercial. And that's why I didn't understand YouTube for my Mr. Fix It and was utilizing the platform completely wrong. And once I recognized that I was the one doing it wrong, it created that itch, that mental itch of like, why can't I like be successful on this platform comparative to all of the other platforms? And that's when things really took a change. I started looking into it and recognizing the potential of YouTube. And that's when I was like, not only did I do it wrong, but it was kind of like a blessing in disguise, because it allowed me to understand what YouTube is and why you should make it your passion, why you should make it the thing that you can't stop talking about it. Like, for instance, me with cameras, gear, live streaming, all the things that interest me when it comes to video and audio production, that's the stuff that I'm interested in. So that's where the name spawned, because I was like, I'm a camera junkie, so that's what I'm gonna call myself. And that was unfortunately taken. I don't even know how, like if they're really using it, but how it was already in existence, I totally like tried to steer away from it. And then it came around that I just looked at my own business, the phone repair, and I called myself Mr. Fix It. So then I was like, then I'm Mr. Camera Junkie, because I'm still a camera junkie, but I'm the Mr. Camera Junkie of this. And that's where I recognized that Mr. Camera Junkie was available on all platforms. It was just a name that was never thought up or utilized again. And I was really looking to stand out with my name, because my name being Luis Vega, and a photographer in Florida, there was over 700 photographers, Luis Vega, in this state. And that doesn't include all the other 49 states that are part of this Commonwealth. So with that being said, right, I went with Mr. Camera Junkie, and it's a name that just like rolls off the tongue, easily recognizable, which is one of the things that I love the most, that when people read the name for the first time, they usually don't have a problem just seeing it and being able to nail it 100% of the time, which goes a long way for shareability, right? That shareability of like, hey, have you heard of Mr. Camera Junkie? Is a lot easier to say to someone than, hey, have you heard of this guy named X135746 with a little hashtag and an asterisk? Like, if your name is a series number that looks like a prison code, shout out to Diana Gladney. She said that on a live stream the other day about a Facebook user. She's like, man, that looks like a prison number. So that was still stuck in my head. Shout out to Diana. And talking about that, I can't wait to see Diana again this year. I met her for the first time last year, and she's an amazing creator. She's amazing in a lot of different ways. When it comes to, how did she call it? An entrepreneur. Just being an entrepreneur, she's got her head on straight, and she's got a lot of good information. So with that being said, if you haven't checked her out, she's also probably going to be on Cities Got in the future. She was almost like this close of being on there today, but how I spoken to her about her before, I kind of just took back because I know a lot of you have already heard of her. Another name that you heard me mention is Professor Nez. So let's check that out. Let's do this real quick. Let's go over here, and what are we gonna do? Oh, we gotta click this. This is what we gotta click. Cities Gaw. Channels that I think you should go and watch. And today's Cities Gaw is, like Doc says, hold on. Oh, that's not. Taking that off. There we go. And we're gonna go over here. Oh, let me open that up again. Give me just 1 second, guys, because of the simple fact that when the live stream cut off, I closed out all the windows trying to fix it. So I lost my Cities Gaw page. Give me just 1 second to get it back. All right, you know what? We're gonna just do it like that. All right, let's go to Chrome. Boom, Professor Nez. Now, I've mentioned Professor Nez here before. I'm usually on his live streams on Sundays. I've missed the last couple because of this entire trip and prepping for it. And then also spending time with my father, which, you know, I've been lucky to speak with him every day on this road trip. He just wants to make sure that I'm safe, you know, just being a dad. And, but yeah, that I spend my Sundays with my father. So because of it, I think the last couple of weeks, I have not been able to make Professor Nez's live stream, but I highly recommend you check out his channel, especially if you're looking to monetize. Now, Professor Nez, it says right here, says helping you monetize your experience, skills, and creativity in the creator economy. I was fortunate enough to meet Professor Nez, you know, like through these social media platforms, back in 2000. 2020, when Clubhouse was all in a hype, right? When it was all in a hype, and I met him in a Clubhouse room, which then found out that he's like really tight with the Illuminati brothers, and that they go way back. So it was kind of like this just awesome kindred friendship that just spawned out of like the ether, so to speak, and it was just amazing. We clicked right away, and ever since then I've been on his live streams. And yeah, I highly recommend you check out his channel. He monetizes on a variety of different platforms. He currently, right now, and just FYI, is a big advocate for shorts and for the short form content to get into it. The reason why is because he's living proof of it working. He's using the same content, short form content, that he's creating both for TikTok. I say both, but it's actually more TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and also Instagram Reels. And where he's really banking is the Instagram Reels, or the Facebook Reels, because it's the same company. So Metaverse is one of the best paying out systems when it comes to monetization for content creators. And I think he's making an average of $5,000 to $10,000 from Facebook running his shorts videos. So if you're interested, I highly recommend it. And the reason why I bring him up is because I'm putting pressure on Professor Nez. So if he sees this, just know that he was supposed to be here last year at People of Video, and he missed out. And this year, he just totally just like said, I'm not going. So now it's on him, because he's gonna have to put in that extra effort so that we can meet up in the IRL, you know, in the real life. So if you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend, if you're interested in looking to monetize and learning about, you know, becoming a full-time content creator, I highly recommend you check him out. Another thing is that he also talks a lot about, you know, like the mental headspace. So As you can see, it says inspirational videos every week. He will also help you out if you're like beating up on yourself, right? And you're just saying like, oh, I'm not good and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. This is someone who could really help you get yourself out of that like trench and out of the ditch. So once again, Professor Nez, I highly recommend, highly recommend. And he is this week's Cities Gall. Channels that I think you should go and watch. Boom. Now, let's see this. Oh no, that was it. That's the one that we're supposed to go to. And with that being said, let me go ahead and check the chat once again. Okay, so Marinex says, I wish I could have went up there. Hey man, try to plan it for next year. But also, I'm also going to try to like make more events, you know, like throughout the year, like try to see what I can do as far as making these things, because not only are they a great learning experience, but man, do they like refill your creative juices, right? Like they top you off. And when you leave these conferences, bro, you're energized to take on all like the content mediums, so to speak, and just try to blast out as much information, because there's so much great, awesome information that you get that you want to start putting it into practice as soon as you leave this conference. So I highly recommend it. But I can't wait to one day meet you in person as well, Dion. Tom says, sorry man, hope we can hang out in person. Tell you to move that event to next year. Hey, listen, that's what I said. I might end up being in California before all said and done. So right now I'm leaving doors open for anything and everything that could be available. I'm just excited and happy of the things that are happening right now, man. But yeah, you don't have to apologize, but I'm sad. You know, I was just like, man, it would have just been that much better to have you and Heather here as well. I know, you know, Doc Rock and everyone would have loved it too. Says, can't make Albany register people a video 2022 virtual pass. That is awesome. It says, use the code Ecamm V29 for $29, a saving of $120. That is awesome. It's at $29. Dude, yeah, because the virtual tickets are $150 for you to get the replays and everything like that. If definitely check out this link if you're into it, because I think that's absolutely worth it. Because that's, you know, in all sincerity, that's kind of like what I did last year, right? There was a lot of times where there was people that I like, because I missed the entire first day, I rewatched those speakers so that I can get that information. But at the same time, there was other speakers that were there that I was like, I need to take advantage of the hallway conversations. It may seem a bit odd, right? But the whole thing is that those conversations, the spoken part, are being recorded, and you're able to watch them on a replay. You're not able to replay the hallway conversation. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds when you're taking advantage of learning. And if you have a notebook, you're jotting down your notes so that you can get as much information as possible. You're enjoying your time. But then also when you have some downtime and you get home after the event, you can rewatch any of the speakers that were, you know, present and gave their presentations. So that's also well worth it. And if you can get the virtual pass that gives you all of the speakers, you know, and able to watch the replays for $29, that's a no-brainer. That's like a drop in the bucket, to tell you the truth. So thanks for posting that, Paul. I'm gonna go ahead and put that again right there, because I didn't even know that was available, and that is like a major savings. It says, unless there was a last minute change, Diana isn't going to make it. Really? That kind of makes sense, because I saw her doing a live stream on Friday, and I was like, she's at her house. I don't know how long it takes her to get over there or anything like that. But that sucks if she's not going to make it, because then she's going to get, you know, she's going to hear it from me. Just FYI, she's going to hear it from me. And this is where we're at. We're saying hi to Sly. Sly saying hi, gang, just passing through. How are you doing, Sly? And she's getting the warm welcome from the crew, as you can see here. All right, it says we just need a George and Ringo. Oh, because that's what she said. She says, "Hey, John, Paul, Tom, and everyone else. All we need is a George and Ringo." So John and Paul. I like that. It says, apparently I said hi to Tom in a chat message to a friend. And he's laughing, saying hi, Paul. Okay, so we have Architectural Sheet Metal 101 saying, hello, how are you doing, sir? I don't, if you are, sir, I don't recognize your name. So I don't know if I've ever asked you for it. If you're hearing this and you can let me know your name, that would be highly appreciated so that I could address you by your name instead of by your channel name. But if you prefer your channel name, hey, ASM, right? ASM 101, Architectural Sheet Metal. It's not that hard. Whatever you prefer. Okay, and this is a link to Roberto's channel. Thank you. How are you doing, sir? Saying hey there. William, right? I believe so. William. Yep. Let me know if I got that right. Okay, we're big timing right now with ESPN in the house. What is up, ESPN? Espen. Adam's exploits. Enjoy the conference, Lewis. I bought the video package for the conference dealing with health issues. Oh, that sucks. I was hoping to see you here. I know I catch you on the Nick Nimmons live stream and stuff like that, but I was just expecting that, I would see you here because that's where I met you here last year. But you will be missed, sir. But I hope you feel better. I hope you feel better, and you could always reach out if you need anything. It says, and that's where we're at. But thank you for chiming in. Guys, we're just past the midnight hour, as always. And you know what that means? We have another successful Camera Junkie live stream. Episode number 94. I don't have any of my sound effects. Just that one, right? This one. And then I think cheering. People cheering. Oh, no. Sad trombone. And people cheering. Wait. This is all on the pod track before. Oh, quiet. That's a long one. Okay. I had to shut it down. The one thing about the pod track P4 is like on the other touchpads, if you press it on accident, you can press it again to kind of like mute it. This one will just restart it. So it will just like until it finishes, it will continue to play that sound effect. But it gives you 4 simple little sound effects. I just programmed the incorrect ones because I've been using my Rodecaster Pro 2. All right. He says, thanks and enjoy. I will. I'm having a lot of fun already with my boy hanging out here at the hotel, doing the live stream. Everyone, thank you as always for hanging out here and taking your time, your most precious commodity, and spending it here with me on the Camera Junkie live stream. I hope that you found this fun, entertaining, and maybe educational. And if you're interested and you want to find out, we're going to be doing it all over again next week. So next Saturday, no matter where I find myself in this universe, I will be doing a live stream right here at the same time in the same channel. 11 p.m. Saturday nights, every Saturday night, the Camera Junkie live stream. Next week will be episode number 95. Just 6 episodes away from that awesome, incredible 100 mark. So 100 weeks consecutive. I've mentioned it here before, man. Secular TV shows wish they had 100 episodes. You know what? I'm gonna Google something right now. Just to see, just to give you a little bit of context. Google fresh print of Bel Air aren't you clicking? Okay. Okay, a syndicated show like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? Which the reason why I picked that is because Will Smith in the news lately, also big star, won the Actor of the Year award last year, and his show's been on since forever. Has 148 total episodes. 148, and that was like 7 or 8 network seasons. 7 or 8 network seasons, 148 shows. So if you were to break that, say 150, 7 seasons, I'm well beyond what they're producing per season, and by next year I'm going to be well past that number, right? So it's pretty incredible that when it comes to weeks on end, they will be under 3 years, and right now I'm getting close to 2 on my live stream, which is, just understanding things like that on how these shows are syndicated, and that these are half an hour shows. So a half an hour show is 20 minutes of actual airtime with 10 minutes of commercials, right? That's basically what every 30-minute sitcom ends up being. Their actual runtime is 20 minutes. And I do at least an hour weekly. So when it comes to the airtime and stuff like that, it's just stuff that kind of like a pilot, right? You got to get those hours in. And because of it, I'm really grateful because it's helped me accomplish a lot of things. Learning how to speak, is one of these things that a lot of people find really, really hard. And the more that you do it and the more that you put yourself out there, the better you get. Just, it is. I've learned to sometimes just pause, right? Just pause before you say anything. Just take that half a second to just pause before you just fill it with a and a right? And not that I don't do it, right? But at the same time, if you're conscious about it and you're working to be better at it, a slight pause could even add dramatic effect instead of adding like a filler word like a So there you go. I think my biggest like filler word that I use all the time when I'm hearing my own edits that I'm just like is the word so. S-O. I say it all the time. I'm like, so, like, you can do what you want to do. So, and it's like, it even irritates me. So I speak from my own experience, right, of these things and how I try to upgrade my skills, right? Upgrade my skills in everything that I do. That's part of my stick. Well, everyone, as always, thank you. I'm being very Puerto Rican and taking too much time to say goodbye. But I just love all of you guys and I love hanging out. But I got to get some things done. I got to take care of Aiden, set everything up, and get things packed up again. Because I have to move this entire production over to the Desmond Hotel for tomorrow. So my plans are, that I'm going to try to check in as early as possible. What? I know that's crazy. I think check-in starts at 3. So I'm most likely going to be checked out of here at 11, go get something to eat, take my time, hang out, and then check in and see what I can do as far as the room goes. Once again, hopefully first floor so that we don't have any issues with complaints. And yeah, that's kind of it. I'm really excited to be here at People of Video. Thank you all for hanging out. One way or another, this live stream, you all, the Camera Junkie crew, this entire thing is part of everything of why I am once again at this location at People of Video 2022. So I want to thank you all personally because you are part of this big change that I've been able to make in my life and totally switch gears from phone repairs to video production and editing, and I couldn't be happier. And I want to thank you all for joining me on this journey. So you guys are the best. Thank you. You guys rock. But with that, I will say good night. Take care of yourselves and each other. It will just be 1 week before we do it all over again. There's going to be some things to come during the week. I'm going to be posting some photos and things like that. I took photos for what I mentioned last week, which was my Apple a Day challenge. But because of all of the driving from Wednesday till today, really didn't. Excuse me, apologies. As you can see, I'm really tired and I just didn't set up that social media account because I was going to start posting, but what I forgot to do was install Vero onto the phone that I took all the pictures on. So like I said, I have no applications on it or anything like that, and I have a Vero account over there. So what I'm going to do is install the Vero account on this phone so that I can just upload the pictures and start getting things going. So if not tomorrow, most likely, what today? Yeah, if not Sunday, most likely Monday, I will be starting this Apple a Day challenge with my photos. What I'm going to try to do, being super clear, is I'm hoping that I can fix this camera. If I can fix the camera, I will definitely start doing more of that and taking more photos. With that being said, thank you all. Have a great week, and I can't wait to do it all over again. See you next time.